The Missouri River came up, and there's usually a levee protects this farmland. The river got high enough, it went over the top of the levee and eventually breached, opened up and flooded all this area. I had about 250 acres of corn planted. It was up about that tall, and it's just gone now, just gone.
It's hard to picture how the fields looked like before the latest round of rainfall hit Oric in the central U.S. state of Missouri earlier this month. Tom Waters, a seventh-generation farmer, said about half of his land, close to 1,700 acres, are underwater.
Chances are we won't get any of this planted this year, and then it's going to be difficult maybe even next spring. It may still be wet next spring.
When the flood hit, the seasoned farmer had to move out some 60,000 bushels of soybeans he stored last year after price plummeted amid the U.S. China trade tensions.
We ended up selling some for a pretty low price, which it kind of hurt.
Waters has been farming for more than 40 years in Oric, a small town of 900 people on the east side of Kansas City. He said the persistent wet weather in the Midwest over the past few months is a very rare event.
This has just been rain after rain. Before it even dries out, it rains again. It's been week after week after week like that.
His words were echoed by Blake Hurst, president of the Missouri Farm Bureau. He is also a corn and soybean farmer in Tarkio, northwestern Missouri.
39 million acres that wasn't planted to corn. That's never happened before. A lot of it did get planted, I'm sure, this week, but we're looking at maybe 8 to 10 million acres of prevented planting. In other words, it won't be planted at all.
Hurst said corn should ideally be planted by the first week of May, and now it's already delayed by 1 month. That, according to him, could cut the normal yield by roughly 20%. With persistent rain in the past few months and the ongoing U.S. China trade tensions, farmers in the Midwest have been enduring a spring like no other. The floodwaters will recede and farmland will dry out, but the damage from the trade tensions is not going away anytime soon.
We've seen a big cut in our exports to China, and the trade tensions have in some ways made us appear not as reasonable or not as dependable a supplier. So, I mean, the question has to be, are we losing these markets for permanently?
Several months of trade frictions have made a big difference to farmers' income, and a combination of factors has made planning nearly impossible.
I think a lot of sleepless nights and laying awake at bed thinking about it and deciding, weighing which is better and which is not. And I think this has been the hardest year to make decisions for me since I've been farming.
Hurst said he understands there are problems in U.S. China trade relations that need to be dealt with, but he thinks unilateral tariffs that Washington has imposed a bad strategy.
Farmers are ill-equipped to sort of be the front line in any trade war, so we have to be concerned with the way it's affecting agriculture.
Looking ahead, Midwest farmers still hope the two sides can work things out.
I still have hope that we can get it ironed out and be able to have a good market for our crop and good market for us and good market for China as well.